Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2015 marching season of the Bearcat Band. We're very happy that you decided to join us today. I guess the weather helped a little bit. We are excited to have you and to showcase what these fine young students have done in the time that they've been away from you, even though school hasn't started. So if you please stand and let's have the Star Spangled Banner. Thank you very much. As we begin our night, I think we should only begin it with a way that we can show thanks to the people that have made all of this possible. In the school system itself, there's too many to mention, so let me at least first start with the Band Booster organization and its board. And board members, I know you're up there and I don't see all of your faces. Would you please stand and let's see the booster board and see some faces. We go and travel to another city and we have to feed 200 kids and do it twice in one day. These guys are so instrumental. We're going to talk more about that as we kind of get into the evening. The administration at the high school, Mrs. Peggy and Margaret and her staff at the central office, Mignon Plyler, she's our fine arts coordinator in charge of all of us student balls up here. Randy Goodell in charge of transportation. Randy Reed, our Assistant Superintendent of Finance, very important. We like to keep that man happy. Tyson Bennett, our Assistant Superintendent, and a very special guest tonight, Al Hambrick, our Superintendent, who is retiring in 1 week. This man, ever since I got here, I think we kind of started our jobs together. He is Superintendent and he is our Director of Bands. He has done so much for the band program and sometimes is not seen, but I promise you is always felt. I'm very sad to see him go. He's done financial things, just little things, spiritual things. The man has been very important in my professional life since I've been here, and I'm very sad to see him leave. So if we could give that group a round of applause, please. Start our season. Of course, there are other seasons that are starting at the same time, and our football team is getting geared up. Coach Patterson has the guys ready to go, and we'd like to kind of get things kicked off with a few stanzas. season. There's a lot of other things they pick up. That is our concession stands. And again, this year we are going to take care of both the home and the away sides. There was a time when we thought we might not, but we are. And so, one of the important things is that the games start next week. We would like for you to take a look at the schedule. We are getting our email up. I blame Bruce Maxwell that we ended up on an email spammer list. I had nothing to do with that. So what we're trying to do right now is if you'll go and like the SHS Bearcat Band Boosters page on Facebook, we're going to try and use that for a lot of the things that we'll give to you for now. The email is almost done, and it should be up by next week, but just in case it's not, we'll use that as our medium for the time, just to let you know what's going on. Food handlers permits are required to work in the concession stand. It's free, and again, we'll have that information up on the Boosters Facebook page. I'm going to try and do this quickly because I have a tendency to talk a lot, and these kids are going to be really tired by the time I get done. What I'd like to do, though, is to recognize our staff. And I'm trying to look and see where everybody is, but Flint Weed is our assistant director of bands, and he's somewhere that I can't see right now. Mr. James Smith in front of me is director of percussive studies. Ms. Anna Hinojosa over here with the assistant director and color art director. John Anderson, Jonathan Anderson in charge of the pit. In front of us, he's down here in the bottom. Our newest staff member, Shannon Wolford, in charge of making sure that the rifles smile. And then we've had a ton of help this year, and it's not from your typical sources. One of my former kids was telling me that in all the 4 years that he marched, we basically had one on-field marching tech, meaning someone who's helping us learn how to march. This year we've had 8, and it's a really fantastic thing. Basically what we did was con a lot of our ex-students into coming back. And most of them were music majors. Folks like Caleb Cosper, Emily Rivers, Josh Connor, and Blake Kilgore. Most of them have gone back to the real world. But Blake is here with us. This is his last night. He's actually heading out to UCF. On top of that, as soon as the jump corps season finished, which was about our second week of camps, right next to him, Chase Samuelson came back. And we also had 3 folks that are not here tonight because they're actually marching with their college band at A&M Commerce. That was Jessica Boren, Matt Ball, and Ryan Ferris. And so your kids are in very good hands this year. I've never thought in my life that we'd have that many people getting out to Sherman and helping these kids. It certainly has been very much appreciated. The show itself, which we started with a piece called Niagara Falls. When we started with Niagara Falls, we thought, okay, let's do a water show. And then we realized that we hated Niagara Falls. And we didn't like it, and we had to do something else. And so as we started to look through all of the other pieces that could possibly deal with water, actually it got really easy. And so the introduction that you're going to hear first tonight is from a piece called Water Nights. It's actually a piece that was written for choir, and then was translated by one of our music arrangers into a band piece. Right after that, we used a piece called Live, which was from the Blue Knights from the year before. They did that in 2009. The ballad that you'll hear tonight when we arc it up is actually from the movie Castaway. If you've ever seen it, I suggest rewatching it after hearing it tonight. If you haven't watched it, please go and do it. It's a wonderful movie, and the movie itself is actually very silent. It's about when Tom Hanks crashes in a plane and is caught on a desert island for 4 years without any hope of rescue. And all of that, there's this very haunting oboe solo that's going to be performed by our soloist, which is somewhere. Where is he? Oh, of course, he's in the back. But Tristan Cage is going to do our oboe solo for that. And then we're going to hear the drum solo, which is called Tsunami. And then finally, we're going to finish, although we won't hear it tonight, in a few weeks, you're going to hear our closer, which is called Oceans, where Heat May Fail. We're actually going to have some singers this year. A few of our young ladies who auditioned this week have chosen 4 people to sing for you this year. And about 3 or 4 weeks into the season, you're going to hear that. We come back for a homecoming at the beginning of October. There's one more special guest, and our lovely assistant to my side here, Jackson Newman. This is the new band top that we're going to be wearing this year. Doesn't he wear this so well? You know? I offered to wear it, and they said no, so I don't know. This top will actually be over the bibs that we wear. So we'll have the bibs on and then put this on top instead of the jackets. Okay, and obviously, it's not that we don't love maroon and white. It's fantastic. It's in our blood. But this represented a show design to us. And when they do a lot of the movements, you kind of have to watch Jackson. Don't watch him too much. He's not perfect yet. Okay, so just ignore the times that he forgets to halt. But while this is happening, you kind of have to watch him do it and imagine that the entire field is covered with kids that look mostly like this. Okay, so fantastic job, Jackson. Very, very nice. Thank you so much. Yeah, and Mr. Smith reminded me, that's only for contests. For football games, we'll still have our uniforms, as they have always traditionally been, but then on a Saturday, that's how we're going to have it. The sides of the field here, we only have one side so far, but these are, we call them color guard screens or judge blockers. This is for the color guard to put their equipment behind, and we'll have this on the other side as well. The prop will be painted. I won't tell you the story of how we got that. It was all legal. But the prop will be painted tomorrow, and we're going to be ready for next week. And we're not sure how we're going to get it on and off for halftime without penalizing the football team. But, we've got a whole week to worry about that. That's no problem. All right, so if the kids will bend their knees and make sure that no one's going to pass out. Here is the introduction and the opener to the 2015 show, Radiant Waters. You know, I actually lied to everyone. We are going to hear a little bit of the closer. The drum line doesn't have this quite ready, but the hit does. So we're going to hear just a little of the closer, Oceans Where Feet May Fail. This is a good time to let you know that Mr. Anderson is actually a composition major from UNC, which is one of the premier music schools in the entire country. And both he and Mr. Smith write all of the percussion parts that you hear in the entire show. John writes all the hit parts, James writes all the battery parts, and we can't pay him enough. And it's really spectacular stuff. And when you know that they do it all in-house, it's a fantastic product that I underpaid them for. All right, so on to the ballad. Ballad is again from the movie Castaway. Starts and ends. Where is he? Here we go. With our soloist, Justin. you haven't spoiled our surprise, but pause, hand off. Mr. Weed's going to tell us about the leadership team.
Yeah, I can't let the evening go past without telling you guys our incredible leadership team. And just to be sure I don't leave out any names that I'm reading out loud here. So, the thing about our leadership team is each year that I stand here and talk to you guys, I tell you that it's the best leadership team we've ever had. And I've never lied to you. And it's true every single year. And this year is no different. And it's never to discount anything that the previous leadership teams have done for the band. This is by far the best one we've had. And this year we talked a lot about the bonsai tree, which sounds really strange in a leadership sense, but we talked about the tree and the fact that we plant the tree and you have to wait several months before you ever see any of the branches grow in a tree like that. And so we talked about that philosophy, and their leadership philosophy this year is that we're going to grow the roots and we'll wait and see the branches grow as the season progresses. So each day we try and grow the roots a little bit more, and we really stick to that philosophy. So every day we keep our head down, and we stick to the grind, and we really try to take care of each day's work without worrying about what the end product is. And we believe that we grow the roots now, and we'll see the branches later. So with that being said, I want to announce our leadership team. So for our flutes, if you guys can just wave whenever I announce your name. Our flute leadership team: Taylor Hope, Aaron Walton, and Kimberly Michaels. For clarinet, Holly Matthews, Julie Moe, Hannah Small, and Celeste Cobb. For alto saxophone, Paige Thornton. For below reeds, Jake Noltensmeyer, Katie Long, Michaela Bishop, and Rosa Manton. In the trumpet section, Dawson Maxwell, Fatima Oriana, Tommy Jarvis, and Jackson Eager. In the organ section, Olivia Dimmich and Marie Van Zandt. In the trombone baritone low brass section, Isaiah George, Daniel Matus, Julianne Nyker, and Ty Harper. In the tuba section, Bailey Graff, Mario Aguilar, and Lauren Nutt. In the percussion section, Logan Stinson, Nick Davis, Megan McCoy, Rebecca Presley, Chase Warner, which we have titled The Cupcake King of the Sherman. And every night the finest of cupcakes. And for our color guard, Mackenzie Reed and Tessa Rivera. So again, thank you guys.
So the other thing that I had it written down, and they don't believe me, but I swear I did. So if you guys will step out and let yourselves be seen. Jordan Edmondson, you guys know him. He's been with Pioneer now for his third year, but with the district for 6. And our newest director, she's the head director of Pioneer now. This is Annette Mitchell. I always believe in coincidences and chances, and when it works out, it's always meant to be. Both she and her husband have had new jobs here in Sherman. They sold the house. They bought another one. This Friday, I'm sorry, it's not James Day. And their son is now going to preschool with James and I's daughters. And so, like, if it couldn't have happened any better, I don't know how else it would have been. But we're very glad to have Matt. We're wonderfully happy to have Jordan back. And these guys have been with the kids for all the time that we've been here at Summer Band. So let's give these guys a hand. Mr. Weed reminds me that we also need to let you know that the drum majors over here, Michaela Krenmeyer, okay, and then Big Red, we got Hannah Walker. You guys have all met Tristan, okay, Tristan Cates, okay, and finally Angelica Okinda. Finally, on every one of these nights, we've done this for so long. This has been possibly the best band camp I've ever had. And this has been 16 years of teaching, 10 with Sherman now, and it's hard to differentiate sometimes when you do it over and over and over again. But I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is the furthest we've ever been. That what you saw, like for some groups, that's a Division I, that's the end of the season. And this is before school starts for us. And so this has been a fantastic experience with just all the smiles that the staff has had. We feel like weight is always lifted off of our shoulders when we get to school, and they're doing what they're supposed to. We actually make the band better. It's just been absolutely fantastic all the way from day one until now, and I really assume that we're going to continue on as we get into the school year. But you haven't experienced the things that these kids have experienced, and we would like for you, moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles and cousins and well-wishers, to come down and find a member of the band and march part of the show with us right now. Okay, so bands, if you guys will reset to 17. Moms, dads, everybody, come on down. Secretary Anderson? Did we find it back there, Tristan? Yeah? Okay, we're going to use this net, yes? Okay. All right, folks. Here's your big opportunity. You might not get to march with us when we go down to that south town called San Antonio, which we don't talk about why we go down there. So we'll let you march now. So band, we're going to go from 17 to the end. 17 to the end. Good luck. Okay, let's be set. Yeah. Band, let's take 8 from the net. Take 8 from the net. Tristan, here we go. Thank you, everyone. Let's have a great season. Thank you so much.